All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream. Anyway, we are taking off from Ibiza. So apparently there's different pronunciations. But anyway, we're going to take off from runway 24. We're going to come out here, and then we're going to make for Valencia. We're going to come, just going to turn, make our way towards the coast, and then we're just going to follow the coast up along the way here. We're going to go through Barcelona, and then right here, where'd it go? We're going to find a little town called Lloret de Mar, which is right here. And then we're going to kind of fly along here. We're going to check out the ruins of the castle, sort of fortification here. And then we will turn, come back inland, and move up this way. And call into Girona. And that's the land there. So we will get our pattern and all that. And put this baby on the ground. Alright, so let's get in here. We'll change the weather. We don't want overcast or anything like that. We want nice, smooth weather. So hopefully everybody's doing well on their Monday afternoon or morning, depending on where you are in the world. So yeah, should be a good flight. We'll kind of call out some things as we get closer to Lloret de Mar. I did visit there for a week. Long time ago. Going over 30, yeah, it'll be 30 years. It's been 30 years. Wow.
237 and runway 24 ready for departure, departing straight out.
Cessna 237 altimeter tree 0.00 wind 060.19er. Straight out departure approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 24.
19 mile an hour
Cleared
winds.
for takeoff runway 24 Cessna
Guessing
237.
that's what that means. Yeah, we don't need 19 mile an hour winds. We're going to change that. So we're ready to fly. Let's get in here, change our weather real quick. We don't need all that action. We don't need a bumpy flight. For sure. We want a nice, smooth flight as much as possible. Check our, okay. All right, we are ready to go. We've got our flaps out a little bit to assist with takeoff. Let's get the parking brake off, and let's get airborne. And there we are. Alright, so once we get past the coast here of Ibiza, we'll make a land here at Ibiza. It's like a jetliner. Skirt over this way and start making our way towards the coast of Spain. We're not quite over the Mediterranean yet, if I understand the geography correctly. The island of Ibiza is not technically in the Mediterranean Sea, which I thought was kind of interesting. Probably going to be a little bit quiet in the chat today. That's okay. It is what it is. People join when they're ready or able. Trying to kind of level this thing out at about 2,500 feet, give or take. 2,300 feet would be fine.
Cessna 237 leaving my airspace, frequency change approved.
Ibiza Tower, Cessna 237, frequency change. Palma approach, Cessna 237 is type Cessna 152, 5 miles west of Ibiza, 2,400 feet. Request flight following.
Cessna 237 Palma approach. Squawk tree 032.
Squawk tree 032, Cessna 237.
Cessna 237 radar contact 5 miles west of Ibiza, 2,400 feet. Altimeter 29.902.
Roger, Cessna 237.
That should be us then. Right, we're just making our way towards the coast of Spain here. It should be kind of a nice, relaxed stream. Nothing fancy. Hello, Bex. Hello, Mick. Yeah, we're just gonna make our way up the coast of Spain. There, So basically, we're heading towards Valencia, that sort of area. And then we're going to turn right and follow the coast up towards Barcelona and all that. I think I kind of laid out the plan in the description. So hopefully that kind of explains what we're doing. Area here. So, of course, Ibiza is well known for its big dance parties and stuff like that. I was kind of doing a little bit of background check on, what, other than that, what's it known for, and that's the main thing. Now, they said that they're trying to get it where it is they wanted to try to create a more family-friendly atmosphere on the island because, as it stands, it seems like a lot of people go there for parties and the nightlife and the clubbing and stuff like that, which, I'm sure there's rampant drug use and all kinds of crazy stuff happening. So yeah, so I think they're trying to change their image just a little bit. But man, it seems like a really kind of a cool place to live. Looks like maybe there's some, I don't know if those are wine vineyards maybe, or huh. So yeah, it's like a pretty neat place to visit. Or so I kind of picked this plane because last time when we flew around San Francisco, this seemed to kind of level off a little bit easier. Didn't seem like it was really fighting me or anything like that. So now, of course, we don't have any kind of navigation system here on board. It's strictly fly. The pilot has to fly, all that kind of stuff. So. I need to get over the water. But I think we've kind of skirted this as long as we can. We're going to need to head out over the water here for a bit, and then we'll Ibiza. Okay, so they say Ibiza in the game, so that's what we'll call it. Ibiza. Man, could you imagine? Now, I don't know how deep the water is right off of that cliff. I'm sure people do it. Cliff diving off of that cliff right there. Wouldn't catch me doing it, but I'm sure people have done it, or maybe even the lower ones off here off the right wingtip. But yeah, that's a little too high for me to think about jumping into the water. I'm good with about a half of a foot or a couple inches or whatever at the edge of the pool. But I'm sure people do it. Like maybe a spot right up there off the left or the right part of the tail there. Maybe it looks like a spot maybe you could jump from there. All right, the vastness of the water. No, we don't want to head north. We want to head. How about we go northwest-ish? Let's turn a little bit more. Then I think we'll start to see the coast of Spain. I would not even look over, let alone jump. Yeah, I'm right there with you, Mick. If I did, I'd be like, as soon as I got to the edge, I'd be like, yeah, no, that's not happening. I'd have to be, well, I don't know if it would be even more dangerous if you were drunk and just didn't care, but I think those are the kinds of things that happen when people are inebriated. I see land way off in the distance there. All right, let's make for a westerly turn. And then, yeah. So I see land way off in the distance there. Kind of dead reckoning today. A little bit of what's it called? Terrain association. There we go. Not that there's much terrain over the water right now. Now it'd be interesting. I'm kind of half expecting to see, kind of like some, like a cargo ship or maybe a cruise liner or something out here. Yeah, this is a pretty kind of a neat plane to fly. It's got, so this is the aerobatic version. Got the windows cut out here in the roof, larger windows here, and all that. So this is the one that you could do some loop-de-loos and rolls and stuff like that. Not that we're going to do that.
1519er is missed approach at Ibiza. Southwest 1519er climb and maintain 3,000 feet.
Kind of what happened to me yesterday going into Vegas. Navcom screens. There's no screens really to use. So yeah, it seems like a pretty easy plane to fly. I picked it just so that, we can kind of maintain a little bit of a low altitude and be able to kind of pick out things along the way. So, try to get it to settle.
1519er, please expedite your climb 3,000 feet.
It's still slowly climbing. So yeah, should be nice. We've changed the weather, so it should be okay flying wise. We shouldn't have any major bumps or whatever. When I looked at that and it said 19-mile-an-hour winds, I was like, yeah, that's not going to work. We don't need to be taken off in 19-mile-an-hour winds. We'd be all, oh my goodness, we'd be all over the place trying to get out of there. Coast there. We're making our way there.
1519er climb and maintain 3,000 feet.
I think Top Swiss is going to have to restart their game and try flying in again. Bit easy. Trying to get it to level off. I tried to increase the speed so we get to the coast there a little bit quicker. It's kind of boring looking at all this water. end up speeding here. Try and get it to behave itself. It's kind of difficult to make the very minute adjustments. So what do you want to do with this? Okay, so basically, Mick, we are going to so we're basically going to go over here towards the coast of Valencia, Spain. Somebody's having a tough time with their approach. And then we're going to kind of turn right up the coast of Spain. And we're just going to follow the coast up. And then we are going to now it wants to climb. Just level off there. So yeah, then we're going to go up, we're going to pass Barcelona, we're going to go up to a little town called Lloret de Mar, which is where I visited 30 years ago. So when I got there, of course, that was the year that Barcelona was making preparations to host the Summer Olympics, I believe. So there was a lot of, improvements, and they were paving the roads and that sort of stuff, but it's a really neat place. Well, I just wanted to kind of break things up a bit, Mick. I wanted to try to do a bit of a different sort of, boy, somebody's really having a tough time going into Ibiza. So yeah, just wanted to kind of break things up a little bit and do, I didn't realize we were this far off the coast. So, we're making our way across the water here, which is a bit of a, Ibiza's still behind us there.
Going to 119.45 Cessna 237. Barcelona Center Cessna 237, 3,200 feet.
So yeah, I just wanted to kind of break things up and do I keep saying that, I'm sorry. Because I feel like I'm getting interrupted with the radio. So I'm trying to make sure we're not missing anything for us to do. So yeah, I wanted to kind of show an area that I've been to before over in Europe. Eventually, one of the other things we're going to do, because I was kind of thinking ahead a bit about, what sort of streams I could do with Microsoft Flight Simulator. One of the things I'd like to do is do we're going to do a flight from Heidelberg, Germany, and we're to go towards the town where I was stationed at, Heilbronn. We're going to fly around Heilbronn, and then we're going to find an airport to land at, basically. So kind of like a touristy sort of flight, just to, instead of just hopping from one airport to another sort of thing like we've been doing, just kind of break it up and do a kind of talk about some places that I've been to before. I've got like a whole list of places, actually. I like to go down to Panama. We could fly around Panama, and we could check out the canal. That sort of stuff. Just to kind of liven things up a little bit.
Following 13, you are 53 miles northeast. Descend and maintain 10,000 feet. Keep speed not above 185 knots. Expect ILS Yankee runway 10 approach via Alpha Lima Tango transition. Clear to Alpha Lima Tango.
So, yeah, I wanted to show you, I don't want to just do flights around America. I want to also do flights around Europe, do a little bit of sightseeing from the air, talk about some places, and, eventually we'll go to the UK and we'll fly around the UK for a little while, and I really want to do that one in the Spitfire. That's my goal, and I'm going to have to practice with the Spitfire before we do it, but to fly over the UK in a Spitfire I think would be like a truly amazing experience. Because it's a very British thing, the Spitfire. So to fly over the UK in a plane like that I think would just be absolutely amazing. Alright, the coast is a little bit more in sight. Yeah, it's just, I want to experience different planes. I want to experience different countries and airports and, just have a lot of fun with it. I know a lot of people, I'm trying to get better at the game too, but also have some fun with the game as well. Or it's not just a game, it's a simulator. I want to be able to do more. Now, one of the things, and I don't know if they have these sorts of achievements or whatever on the PC version, but one of the ones on the Xbox, you fly from the Asobo Studios, there's an airport that's in France, and they want you to fly all the way to Seattle to where Microsoft headquarters is. That's like, and I looked at it, in the Airbus 320, that's like a 10-hour flight. If they have I would like to see that as well. I kind of feel like a lot of that stuff would probably come to the PC version before the Xbox version gets it. I kind of, like in the past, some games would release on PC first, and you would get certain, you'd get all these bells and whistles with that, and then when they finally were able to port it over to the console, sorry for my no idea about planes, but you fly the big, we will eventually, Bex. We're going to fly, I did a kind of I've been flying off screen in the evening sometimes. So we're going to fly, I want to fly a 747, not going to lie. That would be awesome. I want to know how to set things up. I don't want to just put it on the runway, although we could, okay? We could set it up, a flight from San Francisco to New York, for instance, in a 747. Not that they used to fly those routes, because that's, you wanted a big plane, and many people were doing business from the West Coast to the East Coast and stuff like that. But I want to try it, but I gotta look for a video to see if anybody's done like a setup on the 747. But we'll do it. We'll go, high altitude. We'll take off, climb up, fly over to New York, come in, do our approach, and land. I can't imagine it's too much different. It's just knowing where, like, the autopilot is. But yeah, we're gonna do an Airbus 320 flight at some point. I want to do one again, and I kind of know now what to do. We're gonna do a flight from Stuttgart in an Airbus 320 to Barcelona. So we'll do that eventually at some point. I just gotta, what I want to do is kind of fly it just so that I kind of know what to expect, and then we'll do it on the street. That way I'm not like surprised when something happens, or trying to figure out not more studying. Well, yeah, I do want to learn, because it's well, I mean, the checklist is automated if you want it to be. You can do the whole pushback and taxi out and stuff like that, which is kind of cool, you know. But I want to make sure that we do, because I can auto-complete the pages and it'll do all the stuff for me, you know. And maybe that's just the way to do it. I just don't know. I gotta kind of tinker around in there and find where like the autopilot switch is. Where do I plug in the altitude for takeoff, the initial altitude, what they call it, the stopping altitude, and then all the particulars about the throttle, what settings do you use. You know, like the guy who made the video about the Airbus 320 explained all that stuff very well. So I want to see if somebody has done that yet for the 747, for instance. And then, I mean, but see, the thing with that is that's at least a 4 or 5 hour flight. So that's a lot for a stream. Hopefully similar to I think some of the ideas are similar. It's just knowing where things are, because the cabin layout is way different than, like when I was watching the stream the other day. This Airbus 320 pilot had the Dreamliner pilot in a stream with them, and they were talking about the differences between the two aircraft. Some of the similarities, but a lot of, I don't have to do this, or, oh wow, this seems very simplified, sort of thing. So the problem is I'm trying to keep the streams down to only a couple hours at the most, because otherwise it gets kind of boring, and I don't want that. I want, I think everybody's attention can stay focused when the flight is about 2.5 hours tops. We've been streaming for 34 minutes right now, or 34 minutes, and we're just now finally making the coast of Spain. And part of it is because I'm kind of dead reckoning the flight to the coast. I just knew I had to turn a certain way, and it's worked out. But it's, we spent a majority of our time over the water. Not much to look at. So, but part of it is if we're going to do the longer streams, I have to kind of plan that ahead. And I know it's, people are going to kind of pop in and out, or they're just going to have me on in the background. So the chat's going to be pretty quiet. I think I could do a 5-hour stream fairly easy. Matter of fact, when we're done with this flight, we're gonna take a look, just out of curiosity. We're gonna change to the 747. Sorry, and do a flight from. We're gonna plan a flight to see how long it takes to go from San Francisco to New York LaGuardia, and see how long it'll take to get there, and do like the high altitude IFR flight, all that kind of stuff, just to kind of get an idea of the flight time and what kind of cruising altitude are we expecting to go at. All right, my controller batteries just popped up saying they're low. Hold on just a second. I had a feeling this was going to happen. I should have changed before I started, but that's okay. All right, I'm going to put this on pause for just a moment, folks, and swap out the batteries. I'll be right back.